Hi there, welcome to another video. So today I'm going to take us through the first 4 issues of Warhammer 40k Conquest. I'm going to have a little review of everything we've received so far, and I'll probably do this every 4 issues, kind of a bit of an update to see how the collection goes from start to finish. So we'll start with the components and then we'll have a look at all of the literature that we've accumulated. So where do we go? Right, we'll get this out of the way first. We've got a poster. So that is the poster that's big under there, and on the other side of it is just a load of market material for what you just bought, 40k Conquest. So we've got that. We got a double-sided board. So blank one side, a few containers and stuff on the other. We got, let's have a little look at, with our board we got these markers. So these are 10-inch markers, along with a couple of objective tokens, one for Space Marines, one for Death Guard. We got a starter brush. We've received so far 6 paints, so Retributor Armour, Abaddon Black, Macragge Blue, Death Guard Green, Lead Belcher, Bugman's Glow. So those are all base paints at the moment, so we haven't received anything else, no layers, no shades or anything like that. We got 6 dice. And we've got 15 miniatures. So we got 3 intercessors. We got 3 plague marines. We've got 3 reavers. And we got, most recent issue, 6 poxwalkers. So 15 miniatures. So that's what we've got component wise. Now, just before we carry on and look at what we've got in the book, I just want to give you a little bit of a tip, or what I think would be a very good idea for you to do, and that is to invest in a few more paintbrushes. So there's all different types there, but I've got layer brushes, base brushes, shade brushes, a less insane detail, that's just like a fine detail brush, and oh yeah, the dry brush. You will learn more about different brushes and techniques as you go forward, but judging by the standard of the starter brush we got, it's not going to last us very long. So if I were you, I would upgrade a few brushes. Best thing to do, I believe, is go to Games Workshop and speak to someone in there. They'll be able to help you. And the other thing I think you should invest in is some undercoats. I think at the moment you should get a Death Guard Green and a Macragge Blue. Now the reason for that is that this is going to save you a massive amount of time in painting your miniatures, because you're going to be spraying them the same colour as you're basing them anyway. And I think personally, if you spray them in the colours they're supposed to be, I wouldn't even bother basing them. I'd just move straight on to the next colour. So that's what I think personally, and I think you're best sticking to the colour paints that we're going to be using for the miniatures, because you can get sprays in all sorts of different colours. So that's like a, I think that's a Army Painter one of their, I think it's military grey. But again, I'm still going to have to base over this with Macragge Blue anyway, so I'll probably just respray it. But I would, yeah, to save time for me, the most boring part of doing any painting is base colour. I just want to get on and start doing some detail. So if you take that tip from me, get some spray paints. Now, so 4 issues in, we've actually accumulated quite a bounty of information, to be honest. So let's take us through where we are so far. And so I've got no idea how, when we get the dividers, the proper dividers from subscriptions and that kind of thing, how it's gonna lay out, but I've just done it the way I think is best. So I've got my covers, I've got my how to builds, and although Intercessors came out first and then Plague Marines, I'm kind of keeping them to their each army. How to paints. So you've got ones for your actual miniatures, Intercessors, Reavers, and then you've got some individual pages that are just to do with specific colours. So this one's for Lead Belcher, and this one's for Bugman's Glow. And then I've got my Plague Marine stuff and my Poxwalkers. And as we keep collecting these, we're going to get more and more information on going back to the miniatures we've already got and painting those in. Okay, so next we've got tutorials. So the first tutorial 1 is about playing, so it's just a general overview of the game without going into any rules or anything like that. Then you've got movement. So tutorial 2 is moving. Tutorial 3 is shooting. Now actually, there should be a 1.5 which is for the psychic phase. So I don't know why that's not included, but I'm sure they will address that as we go with further issues. Then we move on to charging. Then we go on to the fighting phase. And tutorial 6 is about units. So this is going to become more and more detailed as we go on, and it's all laid out very nicely. So some clear indications with little arrows and that kind of thing about the movements, what the individual dice mean. So for example, ticks and crosses and that kind of stuff. So this is really helpful, and it is going to be a leg up. If you wanted to buy the actual rule book, you wanted the physical copy of it, you're talking about 20 quid at least. So this, as this generates over time, I think this is a good tool. So yep, so units. Then it moves into a mission. So this is the mission we got with issue number 2. We had 3 Plague Marines and 3 Intercessors. So it's just going into a little bit of detail about how to do that basic battle. Then it's got a replay, which is a kind of slightly differently set up way of doing it. Then tutorial mission number 2, which is 3 Plague Marines versus the 3, I believe those are the Reavers. Yes, they are. And again, information about counter-attack and all that kind of stuff, what you're going to need to play the game, which has already been supplied in that, through the collection anyway. And then a replay on that, which is a slightly different way to play the game. So basically, yeah, so that's good. More tutorials, so squad warfare, how to set up and that. So on here, it's giving you a little scenario or something you can do that's going to use all 4 packs of miniatures to where we are now. So it's good. I feel like it's really easing us into the game and what we're doing, and I think it's important that for beginners like myself, I only started playing since I got my first issue, and I picked up a lot about the rules since then. But I think it's important to, as we accumulate our armies, that we keep up with the gameplay, and yeah, and I think it's going to serve us really well. Okay, next section we've got some 40k history, which delves into kind of some of the times that we've got now in terms of fighting. Dark Imperium. There's a big box of Dark Imperium for Warhammer 40k. It's got about 30 miniatures in it. It's got the rule book. I may even move on to buying that at some point as well. And then we start getting into information, more information about our actual forces that we're collecting. Information about the Space Marines, the Ultramarines. So this is kind of just our starter for what we're doing. Then we've got our Intercessors, which we've collected, our Reavers, which we've collected, and a little bit more about the information. It's got the section called War Gear. I'm sure we're going to get loads of these, but this is going into detail about the actual equipment that our guys have got, that our Reavers have got. Okay, next, so in the same ways, we've started our information about the Space Marines. It does exactly the same thing for Death Guard. It's got information on our Death Guard, Plague Marines, which we've collected, Poxwalkers, which we've collected, and then more and more details. So it's got sections here called Legion, which we'll be collecting as we go forward as well. And again, a little bit more lore about the Deathwalkers to the Plague Planets, obviously their homeworld and that. Some more information. So this is a look back on previous battles and that kind of thing. So we've got really good information. I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I haven't chucked these boxes out yet. So I'll probably hang on to them for a while. So, as you can see, over 4 issues, we've collected a fair chunk of information. And to think that we are, at this point, we're probably, I think we're 5% in to all the issues that we're going to collect. So this is going to be massive when it's done. So because I am supporting my local newsagent, I won't be getting the freebies that come with an online subscription. So I won't get the big binder and that kind of stuff. But I'll get enough information to learn and keep up to date with how it's all sorted and that kind of stuff. But definitely get yourself some of these. Get yourself some of these. And yeah, let me know in the comments how you're getting on. So I'm really pleased that a few people are kind of keeping up with the issues or the unboxings that I've got on there so far. And thanks for everyone's support on that. But if you want to know, I'm doing this kind of for the good of the channel and the people that are watching the videos. So if there's anything you want to see, if you want me to do some battle scenarios, if you want to watch me do some painting or anything like that, just let me know in the comments and I'll do that. So like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I shall catch you with the next issue, which is issue number 5.